Is it true that Ford is leaving consumers behind?
So let's check that out right here. Is Ford leaving consumers behind? I love Car Edge. And they made the point that, Ford is maybe leaving consumers behind because they feel that Ford is building, just the higher priced vehicles and the higher trims. Now, higher trims, and they make some really fantastic points. They are very data driven. They've got, a fantastic channel. Love the work that they do. And they brought up a really great point. They said higher trims usually do depreciate more than the lower to middle trim models. And generally that is very true. So what they're worried about is, in their opinion, with Ford building, next to no Mavericks and a whole lot of F-150s, and of the F-150s that they're building, mostly upper trim models that cost a fortune, that this leaves consumers behind, that consumers can't afford these vehicles. And I can tell you as an insider exactly what's going on. So yes, Ford is marketing higher trim models. Why? Because let's see, what's more exciting? We'll just do a little experiment here. Let us know. What gets your blood pumping more? Let's look here. This model, let's say, okay. Marie, you smiled pretty hard. Maybe that model.
Yeah, it's playing in the sand already.
How about the Raptor?
That's the good one.
A Raptor, great sounding. It's roaring down the road.
The grill of the Raptor.
Nice models with nice mags. Or does an XL, an XL excite you? Of course, Ford is going to market, and when you market too hard, the XL model, but then people go in and start shopping and they don't really want that model, people get upset because they came in for that marketed very low price, but then want something that's middle trim to upper trim and get upset that the price has gone up by $10,000 or $15,000. People have complained about that many times over the years. There's not nearly as much excitement about an XL. So if you push all the marketing on the XL, the majority of people get middle to upper trim, and they're gonna be pretty upset when they get dropped the bomb of, no, sorry, bud, that's 10 or 15,000 more. In the case of an F-150, it could be, it's 25,000 more than what was advertised. It drives me wild when you have, let's say, a manufacturer being like, hey, this is the price of a Dodge Ram 1500, and it's the regular cab 2x4. So then your price is basically going to double on what you actually most likely want. The majority of customers are going to want a 4x4, big cabin, medium comfort level, medium trim, or the full out trim, and the price is going to double. So what's going on with Ford? Ford, simply put, is marketing the good looking models. That's how they sell clothes. They don't get really, really unattractive men and women to model clothes. They don't even get average looking people to model clothes. If so, I'd just, walk up and down a runway and get paid for walking. No, I'm average looking. No one wants to see, wants to market this right here. They want to market, the Ford Ranger Raptor. I'm not a Ford Ranger Raptor, folks. I'm a well-equipped XL or, a low-trim XLT at best. That's how the world works, folks. So no huge surprises that Ford would market it. But what are they actually building and selling? Well, here's an example. They're building a whole lot of XLs. The Ford Bronco. Ford is telling people, switch your Wild Track to a Big Bend or an Outer Banks Bronco. What does that mean? It means Ford themselves are, generally something like a Wild Track or an F-150 Lariat generates about 30% more profit than the entry level. And here's Ford telling you, switch your order to an entry level or near entry level to get your vehicle faster. So I have to disagree with Car Edge on this one, Ray and Zach. They're saying that Ford's leaving customers behind because they're not really building Mavericks and they're just building upper trimmed F-150s. No, they're actually building a whole lot of XLTs. Right now in my yard, I've got about 35 F-150s and only one is a Lariat, one is a Platinum, and the rest are XLT. And they're XLT Sport 302. So they've got a whole lot of those. And we have about 6 XL or XLT 300. So we actually have a good proportion of complete entry level, a whole lot of middle level, middle segment, middle trim, and just a tiny little bit, a sprinkling of those super trims. And the Super Duty, the first 3 months of Super Duty production has been all XL, XLT, and maybe 10 Lariats from the factory. So very few Lariat models. We've now received about 12 Super Duties and 2 were Lariats and the rest were all XL or XLT. So there we have it, folks. That's what's going on right there. Now, there is good news on the horizon in 2023. JP Morgan actually estimates that prices are going to go down. I've been estimating that prices are going to go down.